Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Week 14 of the Ncaa Division 1 preview, I guess you call it. Obviously, before I started doing these college football stuff, I really wasn't a big college football fan, kind of casual, kind of knew who some of the good teams were, kind of knew who, teams that typically would win, that kind of thing. Obviously, I learned something about some of these teams, kind of. I'm Mr. Negativity, I guess some would say, especially the SEC fans and the Big 12 fans. As I talk about how, you have a playoff without those teams. This is going to be one of 5 videos when we get up. I just, like to see you guys take a look at them. Obviously, I'm doing the NFL picks like I always do to this one. Doing a WWE Survivor Series review. I'm doing a couple of a topic video on wrestling. And I'm also doing I don't like having below 500 teams in playoffs. And NFL is going to have that this year. I got a video how to fix that. And this whole playoff run for NCAA, I know it's new this year with 4 teams. Next year they jump to 8. I just think it's going to be a debacle. Because some of these teams that are going to miss the playoffs, and they should be in there, and there's teams that are going to be there and it shouldn't be, and how the schedules are unbalanced. I have a way to fix it, and that'll be in a video later on, so check that out. So Week 14 NCAA, playoff rankings come out on Tuesday. We got 10-1 Alabama 1. We got the 10-1 Oregon Mighty Ducks 2. We have the 11-0 Florida State Seminoles 3. We have the 10-1 Mississippi State at 4. Obviously, pretty much the same as last week. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, Alabama upset the number 1 Mississippi State team. So we have one undefeated team, which Florida State really hasn't played anybody this year. So, but then what gets me is another undefeated team out there. They're ranked number 19 in the AP, and they're actually 24th in the playoff. The 11-0 Marshall. I don't know why they're not getting more higher rankings than this. They're 11-0, same as Florida. I just hate to see a team like a Marshall that's 11-0 miss a 14 playoff when they're one of 2 undefeated teams. That's why I came up with the scenario how to fix all that. I'm going to run down some of these games. I think we had 5 or 6 games last week. I think I was like 4-2, maybe 3-3, or whatever it was. I wasn't keeping track too much. I just kind of like getting my opinion out there. Obviously as playoffs come, and then next year I'll really get into college, kind of like I'm in the NFL. We have the number 1 team Alabama versus the number 15 Auburn. Auburn's 8-3. Alabama's favored by 9.5. Here's that SEC Auburn can get back at Alabama for a loss and upset them here and really screw up the playoffs. Because you get a two-loss Alabama team, would they make the playoffs? There's a lot of one-loss teams. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Alabama's going to win that, but don't look for the upset. I think the Auburn Tigers could upset the Alabama Crimson Tide there. We have the Pac-12 matchup. We have the Oregon versus Oregon State. Oregon State is 5-6. Oregon's actually favored by 20. They're probably going to win that. We have the Florida State ACC team versus an SEC team, the Florida Gators. Florida is 6-4. Florida State's actually favored by 7.5. And that's something I'm worried about college football. Is the more you blow somebody out, the better it looks for you. So Florida, they've won several games by 3 points, 6 points, but yet Alabama goes out and drops 59-0 on Texas A&M, and that looks better. I don't understand. The strength of schedule they talk about and all this is like, come on, people, make it simple, simplify it for your fans. But obviously they won't. We have number 4, the SEC matchup. We have Mississippi State versus number 19 Ole Miss at 8-3. Mississippi State's only favored by 3 here. Obviously, earlier in the year, I did a kind of a pick I wanted to do for the playoffs. Ole Miss was my team to go to pick to win it all. I was wrong with that. Obviously, my other 3 picks, Alabama, Oregon, and Florida State, still hanging there with them. Again, this could be one of those, 3-loss teams, and Ole Miss upset Mississippi State, kind of like Auburn can upset Alabama. If those upsets were to happen, that's basically the SEC's taking each other out of this. That's not really fair to some of these teams. We have the TCU Big 12 matchup here. TCU, who's 9-1, ranked 5th in the playoffs, versus the 6-5 Texas Longhorns. TCU is favored by 7. Again, there's always that possibility with, as strong as Texas has been in the past, and, they're only 6-5 this year, but they got some good wins under them. They could upset at TCU, it'd be horrible to see them, but they could also, TCU can win this. We have Big 12, we have Ohio State at 10-1, ranked 6th right now in the playoff ranking versus the 5-6 Michigan. Ohio State's favored by 21, so I think they won't have a problem. But there again, there's a chance of a Big Ten team knocking out another Big Ten team. We have the number 7 Baylor at 9-1. First is Big 12 rival Texas Tech at 4-7. Baylor's favored by 28. Baylor should be able to handle Texas Tech here, but again, there's always that possibility of an SEC team beating each other. We have the 24th ranked Marshall, the Conference USA team versus West Kentucky at 6-5. Marshall is favored by 23.5. Marshall should win that. We have another one-loss team that's way down there right now. Colorado, they're at 10-1, kind of surprised, and they're only ranked 21st. So they're going to play Utah. Utah is 7-4. Colorado's favored by 9.5. Anything could happen in college football. I just see, Colorado ranked 21st, and there's only 7 one-loss teams besides them. Some of these one-loss teams become 2-loss teams, and Colorado stays with 1 loss. Do they move that far up? Or is that committee going to go like, screw you, you're not one of the top echelon schools, so you're not in, Well, I guess talking about the ACC, or the SEC, excuse me, they have the SEC championship game. So it looks like if Alabama wins, they're going to be in that. Obviously, if Alabama loses Mississippi State, they'll represent the SEC West. But that SEC East leader could be either number 17th ranked Missouri Tigers at 9-2, or the number 9 ranked Georgia Bulldogs at 9-2. Mizzou plays at Arkansas. Arkansas is 6-5. Mizzou's favored by 2. Obviously, Matty Bach. Who knows what we're going to get there? He's been pretty inconsistent this year, from what I've seen. Obviously, there was a joke on the radio I heard that Matty Bach is playing like a NFL quarterback. And the guy that said this was like, the other guy was like, "What are you talking about?" Blaine Gabbert, NFL quarterback. Yeah, both Mizzou alums. Go figure out get that one. So yeah, if Mizzou wins this, they'll end up winning the SEC East, and then they face off against the winner of the West. And anything could happen. You get a 2-loss Mizzou team beating Alabama or Mississippi State, they could be out. Would a 2-loss SEC team look better than a 1-loss or a no-loss Marshall or a 1-loss Baylor? The committee's got a lot of problems. How they're going to decide. Say Alabama loses to Missouri by 2 or by 1. Is that loss by Alabama by 1 point better than a Florida State beating Florida by 3 or 5? Or a TCU beating Texas by 1, but yet Alabama lost by 1. The loss by 1 is better than the win. I don't know how they're going to do it. Obviously, if there's just 1-loss team, everybody's 2 losses out, how that would work. But we got a lot coming up in the SEC because they're facing each other, and you get the SEC playoff game or the championship game there. Obviously, if Mizzou can win this 2 years in a row, winning the SEC East, obviously them joining the SEC 3 years ago, it's good to see them. Columbia's 100 miles down the road. It's nice to see, kind of an area team like Mizzou able to, go to the SEC where the big dogs play, they say, and be that good with them. Hopefully, maybe one of these years they'll be fighting for the national championship. Pac-12's got the same thing going on. They got Arizona State at 9-2. The Pac-12 South. Obviously, Oregon's leading the Pac-12 North. And then Arizona State versus number 11 Arizona at 9-2. So you got 2 Arizona teams here at 9-2. Both, 11 and 13 there in the rankings. But whoever wins that game should win the Pac-12 South. I'm not sure if there's a Pac-12 championship game. If not, if there is, they can knock Oregon out. So there you go again. You got these 2-loss teams and some other 1-loss teams who makes the Final Four playoff. Pac-12 also has number 8 UCLA at 9-2. versus a 6-5 Stanford team. UCLA is favored by 5. I think UCLA should be able to win that. But again, if they don't, that Pac-12 gets a little more complicated, same as the SEC. And the Big Ten is not far behind that. They get Big Ten West. You get the Big Ten East leading Ohio State with 1 loss. You get the Big Ten West leader Wisconsin 9-2 versus number 18 Minnesota at 8-3. So there again, you got 2 or 3 lost team. If there's a Big Ten championship, beating an Ohio State, and then where does that leave the Big Ten? Would a 2-loss team get in? I mean, we don't know this. So obviously, I'm picking all the favorites here. I'm not, I'm saying there could be upsets. You just never know about this. I've seen a lot of different upsets in college football this year. It would be great if they had a surefire way to fix this. If you stay tuned for an upcoming video, I have an idea how to fix this. Some talk has been about it, and it sounds like the talk kind of died. But I'm going to revamp it, kind of come up with a couple ideas and throw it out there for you fans, see what you guys think of it. So stay tuned for other videos on Robert Sports Show. As always, I'm your host, Robert. You have a good Thanksgiving. Drive safe. Make sure you don't eat too much. And have a spiffy night as always. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.